Morning talk. First time listeners, I'm on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8:45 a.m. That's our time here in Houston. You can check which time zone you are in. But if you missed it, you can always go back through the day and look at it. And also, if you like what you're hearing, the YouTube channel is there. You could just search Gregory Wiles on YouTube, WYLES, and you have over 300 plus of these little morning inspirational talks there. You must find something that can bless you. And while you're there, you can just subscribe. You can help the channel. Good morning, Jillian. Good morning. How are you doing today? How are you doing? Hey, man, today I'm going to shed a little light on this scripture here on Mark 10:46 through 52. And it's a lot of little nuggets in this scripture here, right? This is about this blind man who received his sight, but it's just so much more than that. So we can go a little deeper into it today and see how we can use this to enhance our lives. How this relates to us today. You know, I always draw how these stories relate to our life today, because the message in these stories, and once we get them and we know how to relate them to our lives, it can make our lives better. It make these scriptures make more sense, because a lot of time we just read them, oh, it's a nice story, and we move on. But let's dig a little deeper into this story here, right? This is Mark, and read from Mark 10:46 through 52. So here it's in. Then they came to Jericho. As Jesus and his disciples, together with a large crowd, were leaving the city, a blind man, Bartimaeus, which means son of Timaeus or Timaeus, was sitting by the roadside begging. When he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to shout, "Son of David, have mercy on me." So this blind man sitting by the road begging in Jericho, and when he heard Jesus was coming, he get up and start shouting, "Son of David, have mercy on me." Right? Many rebuked him and told him to be quiet, but he shouted all the more, "Son of David, have mercy on me." So let's take a pin right there, right? You see what it said? Many rebuked him. Let's overlook that and just continue to read on. That's of great significance. Many rebuked him and told him to be quiet, but he kept on shouting, "Son of David, have mercy on me." How much times people try to stop you from your progress, stop you from your belief, stop you from doing something that you know you need to be doing? There are going to always be people that are trying to shut you up. There are going to always be people that are trying to push you aside. There are going to always be people that are trying to stop you from doing what you were called to do, or stop you from your healing, cut and say that's too impossible. These people were showing, this is a blind man. Look, man, you little blind beggar, just stay in your little corner. Jesus don't have time with you. Jesus don't have time with you. You got more time with the more important people. Leave Jesus alone. You're a little beggar. Stay in your corner and beg. And leave Jesus alone. What are you going to do with you? You're a low one in society. Just shut up. Be quiet. Right? People can tell you that. But look what this blind man do. We can learn a lot from this blind man. He keep on shouting even louder as they telling him to shut up. He kept on, "Son of David, have mercy on me." And guess what happened? Jesus stopped and said, "Call him." Jesus stopped and said, "Call him." So they called to the blind man, "Cheer up, on your feet, he's calling you." Throwing his cloak aside, he jumped to his feet and came to Jesus. Now that's another thing. Don't just read over it and go. Throwing his cloak aside. He needed that. You know, blind people is very careful with their stuff, right? Because they got to make sure that their routine and the putting stuff where they could find it. And, you know, he threw his cloak aside. And he jumped to his feet and came to Jesus. I mean, he was so confident. I don't need to put this stuff no more. I'm going to see after this, so I can find my cloak if I need it again. Because when I get up and I go to Jesus, I'm going to see. I'm going to get my sight. So I'm going to see exactly where my cloak is to go and get it if I need it. Or the cloak we used to sit in on the bag. I may not need the cloak anymore. So I don't have time with this cloak. This signifies my condition. This cloak signifies my condition. I got to be sitting on this and be begging. When I get to Jesus, It's all over. It's all over, right? So let's just focus on these little nuggets that we can pick up here, right? And next thing Jesus went on, what do you want me to do for you? Jesus asked him, what do you, June Griffith, good morning, how are you? So what do you want me to do for you? Jesus asked him, right? You see, this is a principle we need to take here too, right? In our own self. First, let's look at it from Jesus' case. He is not going to do for us what we not ask him. He's not going to assume what we want. We got to go to him. First, seek him like how this blind man seek him over all the nights and people can tell you things impossible. Your situation right now, you're going through people trying to tell you it's impossible, done, give up. Doctors tell you this, you're done. You're going to lose this, you're going to lose that. You know, I want to keep you in your condition that you're in. But you got to scream all the louder over their voices, just like this blind man did when they tell him to shut up and be quiet. And he keeps shouting, Son of David, have mercy on me. And Jesus heard him and stopped. And Jesus asked him, what do you want me to do for you? Jesus said, okay, I can restore your sight. No. You see, because maybe this man did not want his sight to be restored. We got to help give people what they want. Because lots of time we're trying to help people and we get frustrated because we say they're ungrateful because I did this for this, did that for them, and they don't respect it because we probably try to give them the help that we think they need. But you got to give people the help what they need. And then you might see, I was far off. Because this man could have asked Jesus for many other things. Because it's not every blind person want to see. Not every blind person want to see. Because remember, this man was born blind. Remember, when he received his sight now, he like a little child again. The world he knows in his head is totally different. He got to learn everything over again. So you can't assume that he just wanted his sight. That's why Jesus had to ask him, what do you want? What do you want? Then he tells Jesus, the blind man said, Rabbi, I want to see. Now, this simplified things, guys. And this is an other flip side. When we go into Jesus, these conversations just as simple. These conversations, it is just a simple conversation, asking him. You got to put it in no fancy language, thou dearest, goddess. No. Simple conversations, you going to him. And that's what they want us to bring out here in this. It's a simple conversation. Jesus, you go to praying and stuff. What you want, you make your request known. You make your request known simply to him and then wait for his answer. It don't take a whole lot. It's a simple conversation. Jesus asked him, what do you want, bro? What do you want from me? First, you assume what you want. You wait for him to tell you. So this is where you got to go to Jesus. Be specific of what you want. Don't assume Jesus know what you want because your finance is low. You assume Jesus know. No. He's saying what you want. Because maybe that's not what you want. You sick? Don't assume Jesus know. You go to him and make your request. He want to know what you want. What do you want him to help you with? You make the request. The blind man said, I want to see. Okay, Jesus ain't got to assume now. You know exactly what he wants. So what he said, go. Jesus said, your faith has healed you. Immediately he received his sight and followed Jesus along the road. You see, again here, we might read over this. Oh, he was just happy and followed Jesus along the road. Jesus don't say nothing here without got a meaning behind it. Now, he come from a lowly place in society, begging on the streets, which I guess is one of the lowest form of people of what he can be. Begging on the streets. Blind, number one, and begging on the streets. And now, here it happened after he received his sight. He followed Jesus along the road. So he come from this low place of begging. Now he's in a prominent spot of following or walking along with Jesus. So when people seeing Jesus, who they're seeing, he is centered and up front now. And I'm telling you, that could be us. That could be us in our situation. First of all, do not let no one, like how they're telling this man, many rebuked the blind man when he called out to Jesus. Many rebuked him and tell him to be quiet, but he shouted even more over their voice. So what this story is trying to teach us, don't let no one throw us off our track. Don't let no one shut us up of having our faith and asking for what we want and doing the things that we're called to do. Don't let no one shut us up from doing it. Right? That's what this story is saying. How if this blind man did not have this amount of courage and still shout over all of these people who he might have to beg tomorrow and say, you know what? If I don't listen to them, they may not give me nothing tomorrow. He didn't care about tomorrow begging them. He said, because if I only get to that man there, I don't need to depend on you for nothing tomorrow. So I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to shout over your voice, because once I get to his ear and he hear me, I don't need your little scraps you can give me tomorrow. Right? So we got to look at this story and apply what this man did. That boldness and the confidence. Don't let no one shut you up. You got your situation. You believe you're going to be healed. You believe you're going to come out of the situation you're in. You believe what you're asking for. And don't let no one shut you up and tell you it's impossible. Tell you that's not going to happen. Tell you you're crazy for thinking like that. Don't let no one shut you up. Shout even louder over them. Shout louder over them. Right? Because Jesus listens to everyone. He don't say, well, oh, this man's a beggar, or he's a priest, he's the president, he's a pope. No. He listens to everybody. 1 Matthew 7:7 say, ask and it will be given to you. Ask and it will be given to you, right? So don't let no one shut you up. Don't let no one shut you up. Right? Don't let it happen. You go confidently and boldly believing in what you believe in. And believing that once you get to Jesus' ears, it's all over. It's all over. He listens to every one of us. You don't got favorites. You don't have favorites. Right? So guys, I'm not gonna go on. There's so much angles we can go with this, so much we can learn. But I can leave that there, let that soak in, and maybe the next day we take it and we sift out some more things, because this is so packed with so much little nuggets. Just these little 4 scriptures here is so much we can learn from it. But let's just take the little piece today. Don't let no one shut us up from our blessings. Don't let no one talk us out of it. You shout even louder over them, right? And like this blind man, he threw his cloak aside because he know confidently, I don't need this no more. This signifies my begging. I don't need this no more. Jesus called me. Once he called me, it's all done, right? Once he called me and told me to come. So people who Jesus called you to do something, you can throw your cloak aside and go. Throw your cloak aside and go. Follow him. It's all over. Once he called you, he got a way for you. He paving the path for you. Once he called you to do something, he got a way. You got to be confident like this blind man. Throw the cloak aside and go. All right, guys? I'm going to leave that there today. But, man, I'm so excited about this one here. We got to look at it again and pick out some more little nuggets from it. There's a lot to learn from it, right? But let's take that for today, going to the weekend. And do not be silenced. Do not no one tell you to shut up about your belief, about your God, and try to throw you off track. Don't let no one do that. Jesus listens to everyone. All right, guys? Have a great weekend. Talk to you guys later. Goodbye.